Hello my fellow humans. I'd like to introduce you to my Patreon page. It has extra videos that you will never see on YouTube and series that will also be exclusive to Patreon. If you would like to burn your eyes out watching even more videos, go to the link in my description. Thank you for your time.
Bro, we gotta talk. No, you gotta look at us. Look at us! Remember Melissa Dabrowski, the kindergarten teacher you finger banged backstage at the VH1 Educator Awards?
So what?
You were supposed to present her with Teacher of the Year, but you bailed while she was pulling her panties back on.
Yeah, because she laughed at me.
Oh, bullshit. She just put her hands on your chest. You never even unzipped your suit.
She would have laughed.
Because that's what you do. You imagine women will laugh at us, so you humiliate them first.
Put your mementos on about the place beyond the pines long enough for us to be more irritated than he is that the show's decided to go all M. Vought Truman shows the village with Becca's mystery location.
Discount Jeremy makes 3 pop culture references that aren't sins of the episode cliché. Also, you and your brainless fanboys are the only ones who are actually irritated by this. Those of us who are capable of formulating thoughts aren't whatsoever.
Also, does that say 60 degrees Celsius? That's like 140 degrees. That's like all the degrees in an already warm day doubled.
You're assuming that this abbreviation stands for Celsius. The abbreviation C can also mean about or around, meaning that Butcher could have meant about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. The real sin here is that a British dude is using Fahrenheit, but you were too busy being wrong to pick up on that.
Hi, welcome to Endless Pasta Week at Tony Cicero's.
Everyone's concerned about where the pasta ends, but no one ever asks where it begins.
Oh, shit.
William Butcher for allegedly murdering Vought Vice President Madeleine Stilwell.
9 out of 10 expositionists agree. Newsposition is the quickest, easiest, and most convenient way to exposition. The 10th was shot after saying something about how restaurants don't leave their volume up or select talking head news channels for their patrons.
But that's the point. Are you forgetting or just ignoring the fact that this show is satirical? It's mocking the common tropes in other superhero shows and movies, one of which is this method of exposition.
Letting your web browser live life on the edge.
Letting your Sins writers point things out on the screen.
He had a ball from the '56 World Series. Signed by Don Larson himself. Pitched a no-hitter in Game 5.
A no-hitter? Larson pitched a freaking perfect game in Game 5.
While the terms no-hitter and perfect game technically don't mean the same thing, Homelander is clearly just using them interchangeably here.
Yeah, math, yeah. Sorry, I forgot.
Forgetting about math is a normal human function, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Pointless throwaway sin to pad the sin count and runtime is pointless.
Circling Ohio instead of putting a line through it.
Pointing things out on the screen instead of doing anything of value.
What is missing here?
I know this one. Subtlety? Nuance? The ability to comprehensively explore the depth of polarization and its impact on power structure as it relates to cultural revolution? Am I close?
No, not even remotely. None of what you just said has anything to do with this scene. This plotline is about a cult remolding the Deep in order to get him back in the Seven and use his influence. This scene specifically shows one of the members chiding the Deep for not accepting himself. Bringing up subtlety and nuance was completely random, seeing as this scene isn't supposed to be centered around either one, and the whole thing about polarization and power structures is also totally out of left field. Again, this is just about the Deep being rehabilitated. Where are you getting cultural revolutions from? Discount Jeremy is the kid who got Mississippi as an answer to an algebraic equation.
They're in these suits so much that I'm giving sins for their boys never getting to breathe.
Discount Jeremy talks about balls.
Last time I did shrooms was at a Goo Goo Dolls concert with some poli-sci chick from Oberlin.
Recontextualizing Dizzy Up the Girl.
Recontextualizing cringe.
I guess I call it more of a gateway.
Being told that you're literally taking a gateway drug and chugging that with no hesitation.
And here we have Discount Jeremy completely ignoring characterization. The Deep has been shown time and again to be a total moron, very similarly to you.
See it here first, WFAK,
KMFT.
WDCS.
Wait, didn't you start with WDCS?
Keep watching WDCS.
What kind of Mickey Mouse operation doesn't knock the channels out one at a time?
What the actual is this sin? She literally did knock them out one at a time. The scene was just cut so that we didn't have to watch the same script over and over again. Does Discount Jeremy actually think that she was saying all of the channel abbreviations like that in real time? Jesus, stupidity is a hell of a drug.
Jesus, if she vibrates any faster, that stick up her ass is gonna explode.
A complete misunderstanding of how combustion works and the requirements for detonation.
A complete misunderstanding of how comedy works and the requirements for a good joke.
I literally taught you this one.
Oh, good. We were all worried that you allegorically taught it to him. Isn't it about time to end the clandestine meeting in a parking garage cliche?
It's not a cliche, but nice try.
Introspective character just happens to run into a picture of themselves just when they're being introspective cliche.
Hey, that's 2 in a row.
We didn't need a minute and a half of annoying interview footage to get that these interviews are annoying.
And I didn't need 10 minutes and 31 seconds of annoying TVSins video to get that the TVSins writers are completely incompetent. But here we are.
But why does it matter whether heroes have a dick or a vag?
I mean, there are a couple of kinds of...
Skip.
How does everyone feel about you helping your traitor f***ing boyfriend escape?
Are you accusing your boyfriend of f***ing traitors or being a traitor? I ran it through Grammarly to check, and it responded, seriously, you know what A-Train meant, you're being purposely up to. You won't play it, but the show is affirming how 90% of Huey's personality is Billy Joel.
Everything wrong with the boys, ladies and gentlemen. A person is a super fan of something. Because that could totally never happen.
Just had a meeting with the colonel.
This captures their attention way more than it should. Just sounds like he either went to KFC or dropped a deuce.
Cringeworthy joke is worthy of cringe.
We get her the suit terrorist. She's gonna get the CIA to scrub our records clean.
The foundation of this agreement is super confusing considering she gives him the address.
734 Central Ave, Newark. That's the address she gave me.
Why would the CIA not want to handle this themselves? Why do people keep giving this ragtag band of misfits work?
See, this is only confusing if you haven't been paying attention or if you're incapable of thinking. The CIA wants to use the boys because A, they've already proven their ability to handle soup opposition, B, they're expendable, and C, they're willing to use illicit means to accomplish their goals, something that would be way more risky for the CIA.
Or like that, you could have been happy.
Thinking you can know how happy you'll be with someone after knowing them for less than a day. Sorry, that's not exactly right. Let me try again. Having your sentient talking gills try to convince you that you can be happy with someone you've known for less than a day.
Do the TVSins writers think that simply narrating what we're watching is funny or entertaining? Or are they maybe aware that it's boring and stupid and they just do it to pad the sin count and runtime? Either way, it's a sin.
What'd you just put in your boot?
We're supposed to believe that Starlight just put the tampon pouch she was going to put in her boot into Stormfront's bag without A-Train seeing that, even though he's been looking at her the entire time. So I guess the sin is not having regular eye exams and investing in a good pair of transition lenses.
You're literally showing footage of A-Train not being in a position where he would be able to see her slip the pouch into Stormfront's bag. We can see her grappling with the bag because we're watching at a different angle than A-Train.
Why don't you tell me what's in my boot?
Title of my British sex tape?
Discount Jeremy makes a cringy sex tape joke that isn't funny cliche.
Building a neighborhood street without a curb. Or else you're supposed to paint your house numbers and do mad sick nose grinds, yo.
Pointing things out on the screen. How else are you supposed to drag out your videos to maximize ad revenue, yo?
It's fair to say that Homelander enjoying milk has become a sin in and of itself.
No, it's really not.
If you're gonna put these monitors on the back wall, what's even the point of the monitors?
So the guard can turn and look at them? He has glass in front of him so he can see outside and talk to anybody, most of the time Becca, who would come up to the post. And he has the monitors here so that he can watch the security footage when he's not dealing with something up front. How hard do you think it is for someone to just turn around?
And if you're in the guard shack, do you need to see footage of the inside of the guard shack?
Do you not understand the purpose of security footage? One of the purposes is to actively monitor the area, but the other purpose is to have a visual record of the area. In other words, if something were to happen inside the guard shack, Vought would have footage of whatever happened to help with their investigation.
There's just no putting the toothpaste back in the tube.
Denying the existence of bulb syringes.
Denying the existence of good content.
I should probably go to bed now, you know?
This is an unbelievably relaxed response to...
You and me were gods.
Next, you're going to want me to believe that he enjoys Werther's originals.
You're being pretty deceptive with this sin. You said it's a relaxed response to a bonkers sentence, but Ryan responded that way because it made him uncomfortable. I mean, the clip you played literally shows that. How did you miss it? It's clearly not a relaxed response if he's super uncomfortable and actively trying to avoid what Homelander said.
What happens one day when Ryan asks to go to a baseball game, swim in the ocean, or eat at a Burger King?
Okay, I'll take these in order.
Skip.
Hello, thin shot. I only got 2 of these.
The writer said it was something about creating tension from arbitrary limited resources or some
Nope, it's not arbitrary. Halothane is illegal in the United States, meaning it would be much more difficult for them to get it than certain other substances. Frenchie has criminal contacts, but they can only do so much.
Misinterpreting the phrase, the best way to get ahead is to get started.
Misinterpreting what a decent joke is.
Gotta love it when decapitation and shelf climbing to the perfect pounce position combines beautifully to create a fake out where the characters just hug.
Okay, and what's the sin here? Is it bad that there was a fake out? Is it bad that the fake out was effective because of the setup? How and why are any of those things bad?
Huey tackles Butcher, even though they're using tranquilizer darts. For reasons.
I could point out that the reason halothane is illegal is because its side effects can very easily be lethal, meaning that Kenji could definitely die from it. But I'd rather point out the fact that Butcher's plan was to kill Kenji after incapacitating him, so either way, Huey is saving his life.
Lighting your entire gorilla face.
Not making any good jokes in a 10.5-minute video.
Stormfront either hasn't noticed this bright pink case sticking out of her bag, or she opened it and thinks the blue mystery liquid is there to demonstrate the absorbency of these tampons.
This sin is something I'm gonna have to take a bit of time to explain. There's a possibility that Stormfront did notice the pouch but simply didn't open it. However, the much more likely theory is this. You know how Stormfront ends up figuring out that it was Starlight who leaked the V to the press? This could be how she figured that out. Think about it. She noticed the pouch in her bag and then she saw the V inside. From there, all she had to do was either narrow down her list of suspects or simply wait for whoever put the pouch there to take it back out. I would argue that this is a fantastic example of the showrunners trusting the audience to figure things out on their own.
You are literally bulletproof. What the is gonna happen?
Starlight could respond with something about the guy with laser eyes and a short temper, or an anecdote about A-Train forcibly causing his ex to OD, or maybe even something about the grenade up your boot trick that the boys pulled on Translucent. If nothing else, just point out that generally there are other ways to be killed that don't involve bullets.
Yes, but her point is that it would be incredibly difficult for the vast majority of people to harm her, which is true. The number of people who have the capability and resources to kill Starlight is much lower than the number of people who can't touch her, not to mention the fact that Stormfront has been doing what she's encouraging Starlight to do for a while now without being killed by anything you mentioned, proving that it can and does happen.
It's like Huey's infected you both with a raging case of vagina!
Thinking this is a bad thing.
Thinking this was a funny joke.
Huey sexted.
I get that the dude is fast, but does he have telepathy or super hearing as well? Because Starlight had already sent that text and put the phone away by the time he'd whooshed into the room.
She had barely taken her hand away from the phone when A-Train came in, meaning that he saw her hand moving away from the phone. Couple that with the fact that she wasn't actually sexting, merely texting, and therefore he got it wrong, your quip about him being telepathic doesn't work.
What are you doing with this?
This is not how it looks.
How does it look, though? There's at least a small chance this looks like she just enjoys the V in the same way he does.
Did you miss the part in the last season where he found out she betrayed the Seven? Do I even need to continue?
Starlight pauses long enough for us all to wonder why A-Train hasn't zoomed off yet.
He's walking out at normal speed. Do you expect speedsters to be using their powers every single second of every single day? That's especially dumb now, considering that A-Train had a heart attack not too long ago, so clearly he isn't going to constantly be using his powers, just in short spurts when it helps him.
Killed your fucking girlfriend? Say if Sports Illustrated found out?
Yep. Whenever I think of publications breaking news about a murder, the first one that comes to mind is always Sports Illustrated.
You're missing the point. A-Train is basically a sports icon. We've seen evidence of this throughout the show. Yes, he also stars in movies and even has a music video, but one of his biggest things is his shoe line, and do you also remember that race he had in the first season? The point is that A-Train is more or less the golden boy of Sports Illustrated.
Fucking try it. I don't give a shit.
Of course it's gonna work, but this newfound confidence really shouldn't prevent A-Train from circling back with Homelander on this topic.
Yes, it should work actually, because she just threatened to release proof that he murdered his own girlfriend, which would completely ruin his entire career and also result in criminal charges. How the hell do you not think this would work?
Throwing your sister through a brick wall.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Kimiko went through the side of a building a block from here, and this neighborhood is not swarming with cops, or whichever poor soups get assigned to Newark.
Wait, you just said that it happened a block from here, and then you ask why here isn't swarming with cops? Do you not proofread your own scripts? This shit is crazy stupid.
Backing through a stop sign when you had a clear shot at pulling a Huey.
Backing out of making genuinely good content when you had a shot at not being a boring dumbass.
Yeah, and once those seeds wear off, you're gonna lose most of your motor skills and You're also gonna lose a significant amount of brain functionality for 72 hours, Morty. Starting right about now.
Oh, man!